Because what you'll say is, adopt the grays. Like, what's the word? It's not adopt. It's like embrace them.
Yeah, embrace.
the
I
grays.
tell you all the time, embrace your grays.
And then you say shit like, oh, it's sexy.
I absolutely love it.
Correct. Now
Yeah.
here's the question, because I've seen that online. I've seen women have said that. Sexy, it's sexy. I want to know, when you guys say sexy, do you mean more sex? Because for men, I'm thinking more sex. When we start this show, we sit down here and this high definition camera points at my head. And the first thing I do is look at the screen and say, damn it, one, I have a notably weak ass hairline. That's what it is. It's just this is a factor of my current age. It's a weak ass hairline. So that's that. But then you have the addition of many gray hairs, which even my brother called out. Like, dude, ever since you're grayer than when we went to Morocco, which was only a couple years ago.
That was like 2016, I think.
Okay.
Or 2015.
I have a time warp when it comes to the pandemic. There's a 2-year gap on everything that you ask me anything. It's 2 years ago, even though it's 4 years ago, because it's 2 years in the pandemic, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But
back-to-back teenage boys, that's going to do it to you.
I've got grays. I got a lot of grays. And here's my thing. I'm trying not to complain about them because it's a one-way street. They ain't coming back. So I need to appreciate the level of non-gray that I am today. Because if I look back in a year, I'm gonna look back and look at pictures from today and be like, damn it, I was complaining then, but my hair was darker then.
Right.
So I get it. Like, I'm trying to stay in the moment. But there are some problems and some conversation that come with this thing. Number one.
Problems.
Yes. Number one, grays are unruly.
Yes, they are.
These cats, they don't want to lay down. It's one thing if it's like, hey, we're going to do what we used to do, which is protect your beautiful brain, and we're going to lay down in the hairstyle which you laid out with your barber, and we're just going to be a different color. I could get with that. I can get with that. Okay. But what actually happens is my grays become rigid in comparison to my black hair, so that, you might go ahead and brush your hair, and then you have like gray.
The grays that
they just stand out. They just
the grays want to be seen. They don't want, like, they're our friends. They don't want to be. Listen, don't put baby in the corner. That's what's happening. That's what's happening with the grays. They're our friends, and they want to be seen. Let them go.
Every time I start thinking about the graying of a person, I think about Grady on Sanford and Son and how I don't want to look. and what I thought about this weekend is I was sitting with my boy Andre. Andre has gray in his eyebrow now.
I do too.
Okay, no. You might have a couple grays in your eyebrow. Dre's eyebrow is like gray, and half his mustache, so he keeps them real short. But what I was thinking in that moment, I feel like when people see you, or we see people of other ages, especially older people, we don't see them. All we see is old. We don't see Todd. We see old man. We see gray. We see gut. We see, wiry hairs in the mustache and eyebrow. And to me, that kind of sucks.
Okay. I think you might want to check your perspective of people.
I'm telling you, that's what I think people see. They just see old. Hey, look at that old person.
I can't say that. When I look at someone, I don't see an old person. I just see a person in front of me. Now, there may be things that stand out about them, but old isn't the first thing that I recognize when I see someone.
I just think that circle of friends is one thing.
Yeah.
But as you're walking down the street and your brain is sorting what you've seen, old lady, old dude, old lady, old dude, hey, kid, parents pushing stroller. It's like there's categories that my brain will allow me to glance and then look away.
Interesting.
Because I'm sorting everything.
Okay.
And maybe that's because,
it's the space that you're in right now.
Streets in New York.
Oh,
Maybe it's just because, there's where we come from. There's so many people that all day, and I try to be observant about what's going on around me. So I just am tagging everything. So to me, now reversing that onto myself, I'm like, am I going to not be recognized as B, but be put in the old box?
B?
Not even B, just old. So anyway, now here's the other piece.
That's odd.
Here's the other piece. This is for wives.
Okay.
Because what you'll say is, adopt the grays. Like, what's the word? It's not adopt. It's like embrace them.
Yeah, embrace.
the
I
grays.
tell you all the time, embrace your grays.
And then you say shit like, oh, it's sexy.
I absolutely love it.
Correct. Now
Yeah.
here's the question, because I've seen that online. I've seen women have said that. Sexy, it's sexy. I want to know, when you guys say sexy, do you mean more sex? Because for men, I'm thinking more sex. Or you just saying like, oh,
I don't
that's
remember saying that. I said it looks sexy.
right. That's what I'm saying. But what does that mean? And when you say
How
it
does that
versus how it
translate
translates
physically?
in my head, if you say it is sexy, that to me means more sex, which would be easier for me to adopt it and embrace it because it all makes sense now. There's a payday.
Well, shit, I don't know. That probably would come with price tags and duties. Like,
What? What does that even mean?
how much money are you making and what are you doing around the house?
So
How about
that has nothing to do with grays. Like, so really it's like, oh, look at that nice painting on the wall. You should never say sexy about painting on the wall.
Yeah, I can't think of a painting on the wall that's sexy.
Correct.
It's none come to mind.
The
anyway.
decoration is not, in the man's brain, decoration doesn't matter. It's functional. So functionally, how does gray move me? And if you use the word sexy, I'm thinking sex more.
Don't confuse the two.
then don't use it.
I enjoy the way that it looks. Does that make you feel better?
That's different. That's
Okay.
completely different.
Okay. How about that? I'll say that from now on. I enjoy the way that it looks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, like the snow on a winter roof.
Think about it.
Snow
What
on a winter roof
it's
is
not
pretty.
just you. Like any man that is has got that salt and pepper. That's sexy. I happen to like that.
What does
so
that mean?
now, in your mind, are you thinking, well, does my wife want to have sex with this guy? No, I just think it looks good.
No, I'm not saying do you want to have sex with this guy,
Mm-hmm.
but what the use of the word sexy to me
Implies
it at least borders on some affiliation with sex. So if you don't mean that, then
don't use that.
use a different adjective.
Gotcha.
Yeah, attractive, stately.
Total side note. A few minutes ago, I was watching one of our videos that we did yesterday or one of the days, right? So as I'm watching the video, I'm looking at it and I'm like, is that a whole new neck? Like, guys, did we go into empty nesting and I grabbed a whole new neck?
That's pandemic neck.
All right, we're going to have to figure that out. That's part of the empty nesting project. Most definitely.
I agree. But that's not just empty nesting. That's not even an empty nest thing. What that is pandemic has changed our lifestyle so much for an extended period of time that we've got to turn back on the variables that we had to turn off and switch during that time. And so,
Yeah.
like as I've extensively gone down this with myself, just saying, look, the old adage is they can take the water, but they can't take the well. So if you are living the lifestyle you're supposed to live that would promote, the healthier, leaner version of yourself, then hey, you could take a setback, but you're always going to work back. And you got to accept that.
Yeah, you're right. Like, we were strength training before, I was going to say COVID, but the pandemic hit and then carbs hit.
Yeah, and then there's stress that comes in. Family stresses that came along with that. We had a loss in the family. No going to the gym, had to build the gym.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So that's been a heck of a couple years. And for me, that's equal a 25-pound swing that I need to knock off.
Yeah, right? I know.
So
I feel the same way.
there it is.